Russell and Nicole. Nice to speak to you yet again. I have spoken to you guys so many times at this point. It's always a pleasure.
Love it.
Hey.
So, Nicole, Lucille, I'm usually on her side, but this
Uh-oh.
season, she is really callous to Charles and Nicole. Why is it so easy for her to take her valid anger out on them, but not say Meech or Terry or anyone else?
You know, well, Charles and Nicole are completely different. I think that her stuff with Charles, I think it's just a lot of stuff built up over the years, And and I was just saying this in the previous interview. I think that with Nicole, that some things might challenge Lucille because they're kind of growing up together and she's getting opportunities that she never had, and that's and sometimes you're not aware of how you're feeling or conscious of how you're feeling about something or how it's coming out to someone else, but I think she's just spilling over now with all of her stuff. It's just all busting out everywhere. And why she really, it does seem like she gives, Charles and Meech and Terry kind of free reign to do what they want to do. But I think she doesn't have any real control over them, and so she has to let them go, I think. And because they are boys, um, she's not worried. I mean, she's worried about other things that they do, but she's not, worried like she would worry about Nicole being in a situation where something can happen, and she's overly protective because she doesn't want her to, end up kind of like she did and having a family at such a young age, and she wants her to go to school. So she's, hard on her because she just wants her to do all the things that she never had the opportunity to do, even though that's challenging for her if she actually does them. You know what I mean?
I get
Um,
it. I do get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Russell, you're directing this time, and it's your second time around. What in this time around you're acting more in this episode. In season three, it was the St. Louis episode, so you weren't in it as much. What is something that you took from directing season three that you brought into season four? And was directing something that you always wanted to do?
Yeah, well, yes, directing is something I've wanted to do for a number of years, and I'm just grateful to Randy, Heather, and 50 for giving me the opportunity. And again, above all, the text is sacred, right? And so everything is about story, and what I was able to do from season three to season four is really um, delve deeper into each character's story and not and just have a real deeper understanding about what the characters are going through. And because it was earlier on in the season, I felt like I was able to set up some things for everybody to play differently this year and take a different approach from the character standpoint. And I think me and McCall talked about this of just like everybody, it was the beginning of everybody having their individual journey, that it wasn't so much about the family as much as about each character finding themselves, wanting to have their own voice, wanting to be heard. And I felt like I was able to kind of start that plant that seed
Mhm.
and sort of feed that. And that was really exciting, because then you're able to really talk to the actors and just kind of give them things to play, little obstacles in each scene, and really get down to the nitty gritty and the nuances of every scene. And people just came ready and prepared and ready to have fun, and everybody met the challenge and then some.
Yes, it was definitely an episode of choices and eventual consequences, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
It comes up in the season, and this is a question for both of you, that was their marriage a marriage of convenience and duty? So if
Hmm.
Demetrius didn't come around, if he was not conceived, do you think Charles and Lucille would have chosen each other if Lucille hadn't become pregnant as early on as she did in their relationship? Do you think their marriage was a marriage of convenience and kind of duty?
I don't. I think, from the Lucille perspective, that they were very much in love. I know she loves Charles. And she chose him over other people. I think their love is really real. And I think that's one of the things that I love about the show too, is that these boys were really, they didn't come from a broken home. They came from a loving family and two parents that were really in love with each other, that enjoyed each other, that were about family and all of these things. I think their love is very real.
Yeah, I agree with Nicole. I think the love is very real. I do think that they chose each other. And I think that, honestly, we have to understand that that's what people did at that time. People met, and one of the first or second person you fell in love with, you met, you're like, yo, I want to go the whole distance with you. What I really believe that that came and sort of severed them was circumstance.
Yeah.
I just think it's really that more than anything else. This is one of those small instances where money could have fixed a lot. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And if they were able to get the money and have enough substantial, income, getting it the old-fashioned way, I don't, the bickering's not there, the aspects, the messed up house and everything like that. And so I think because they had a nuclear family with full of love, everybody's able to stay with each other. There's more
Mhm.
time, there's more energy, all of those things. You're able to keep the family close. But, obviously circumstances being what they were, people go wayward because of the situation. And I think that's what it did more than their lack of love or their sense of duty or convenience. It was more the situation that came about 10, 15, so years later.
Yeah, I think that's what they kind of see in Mickey and Aisha, kind of a reflection of all the love and just like
100%. Yeah.
it's just the fight of your life, and you kind of decide from there, and circumstances can kind of decide from there as well. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I can't wait to talk to you again, which we will, about this
Thank you,
Yes.
animated
Ariana.
project.
Yes. Thank you.